Hobby resolutions can be hard. If you pick a New Year's resolution that isn't related to health or family, it's likely to be related to hobby, and that is what gets squeezed the most. War games take a lot of time and effort. Video games require less effort as a hobby and can be something you just throw on after a long day of work. Being healthy usually comes out of hobby time, and so do family and work goals. And even if you have a hobby goal, there are so many game systems to distract you, though since you're here on my channel, I'm assuming it's 40k. Now, why would you set a hobby goal as your New Year's resolution? Well, obviously you want to achieve something or do something more and feel that progress is being made in your life so that when death comes for you, you can show off your amazing collection of models. And a little death of rats can get to work on your Skaven models. But life changes a lot in 12 months. It can get messy. A resolution you set now may seem rather short-sighted in a few months. Yes, we are getting the old world, but also this year there will be a new Genestealer and Adeptus Sororitas Codex, probably a new edition of Age of Sigmar, some new campaign books, and somewhere in the region of 127,000 new patches and rules and points changes. A lot can happen in the hobby in 12 months. The fog of war is on and can't be turned off. We don't have the ability to see into the future, and any such psychers should be shot. If your goal last year was simple, finish an army, and you did that, having a resolution be to finish a similar sized army will probably be okay. But if you told me this time last year that I would be a YouTuber, then I would have said, really? Thousands of people? And they all get some joy from me? Oh, that's something else. You're all being too generous. Big spike in watch hours as you choose to watch my videos more often, and the number of people who tipped me Christmas money? I'll start to get an ego. But my 2020 goal was to play 40k games with friends, getting together, sharing dice in an enclosed, unventilated area. Well, that resolution was killed by Nurgle. And that was when I found a better way to achieve your aim instead of doing things as a resolution. If you set a goal like, paint more, then most people will tell you that that goal is too vague, too nebulous, it lacks hard victory conditions. But you need to stop thinking like a goal is a 10th edition tournament game and go for more of a 2nd edition narrative mindset. You don't need to make smart or smirt or smarty goals. You are not beholden to some stakeholders. You want to do something related to models and relaxing time. Having a definitive goal of make a 2,000 point Sisters of Battle army is gonna get scuppered as soon as Games Workshop changes the point. Maybe up, maybe down, and perhaps if not for a balance patch, you would have made it, but your year ended instead in failure. Promises are hard to keep. I said I won't be making any more videos between Christmas and New Year, but time is weird between the 27th of December and the 30th of December, and in those 4 weeks, still ongoing, I have created several long videos. And I'm not referring to the long legs of the AdMech Sniper. So what we do instead is choose a topic, not an exact goal. It is going to sound fuzzy, but that's kind of the point. It is as adaptable as a Space Marine Tactical Squad, and not as rigid in the weapon choices as the newer Primaris units. It is versatile to endure the 12-month campaign that is the coming year. A topic is there to push you to make an improvement on something. Think of any other very fixed resolution and you know how it goes. Debbie in the office wants to quit vaping, but by the 2nd week of February, she's back to sucking blueberry fizzle or whatever kiddie-sounding flavour it is, and forgets until the last week of December, when she remembers that she set that as a resolution and feels bad. A topic lets you bounce up and down. If you were fixed on reading 1 sci-fi book a week, but needed to spend time caring for someone or yourself and missed 2 weeks, with a topic, you haven't failed. There is still more being read than you otherwise would, and there's no shame or loss to picking up a book again when you get back without a painful backlog glaring at you as you recover. If you have a topic, it can be very easy to adapt it. My resolution last year was to reach out to people. I started by messaging people I hadn't seen in years and ended it as an internet-based vampire man. It's a bit of a twist, but it's still on topic. So if your topic was reading those sci-fi books, rather than I'll get 50 books read, not including the last 2 weeks of December, that's 1 a week. And if you don't already have a time when you sit down and read, you've got to figure out when you're doing that. So if you instead adapt it to a topic of reading, then you could do some audiobooks while painting. If you'd set the goal of read all the Horus Heresy books, well, maybe you got sick of the Horus Heresy books when all the characters kept coming back to life and there's just not enough Rylanor included, and so you move on to the Alien novel series, which has become more your style. And aren't you glad you didn't set all of the Horus Heresy as your resolution? Broadness is best. You could pick painting. Now, you might not finish a whole army, but you will paint more. An improvement. When it comes to hobby time, rather than scrolling through army lists for factions you don't have and are never going to play, you paint instead. And having most of an army done is better than one model being done, so you can feel proud of that. You have kept on topic, even if you didn't set a very specific goal that you could have win or fail rates for. It's worked. You could have your topic as an army. So you could have a year with the topic of Genestealer Cult. You might like the faction, but not have enough time or money to make a full army. You could listen to audiobooks, and vampires discuss them in YouTube videos. You could get a squad and play kill team games. There's a lot of different ways to fulfill that topic. But you must consider the time. You can't add something onto an already full day. You've got to switch something out. So what is going to give that lets you paint more? So when you have dedicated hobby time, the topic will tell you what most of that hobby time should be spent on. If you were just going to read more sci-fi books, when? Do you already have a reading time? That's okay, you can just switch it to sci-fi books. Otherwise it's before bed. I will not scroll through Reddit, I will instead read a sci-fi book. One advantage of having a fixed goal is a reminder to do things. And we need to remember to stay on topic. This is quite a hard one to do. I would put the thing I need to paint on my desk, but it just sits there and reminds me to work on the models, but all too quickly it faded into the background noise and became just another mundane thing. I see the Kelemorph parts, but nothing triggers in my mind. I just keep painting the Canoness. The Genestealer Cult theme got forgotten. You could have reminders on your wall calendar every 6 weeks that you need to do something hobby related this week, as long as you then put something specific on the calendar and follow up on it. Or if you see the vastness of time stretching out before you like AdMech legs and think that your topic will not last, and you will still end up like Debbie, good in January, then absent until December, try shorter length topics. Again, maybe on the calendar. So before the Sisters of Battle release in summer-ish, the theme could be Old World, and then when the new codex comes out, the theme could switch to be Sisters of Battle until the end of the year. Or you might hit the codex, at which point you can pick an entirely new topic, something hobby-related that you want to do. If that is too little time to complete anything, or too much time that you think you'll forget, choose the length of time yourself. A 6-month topic, a monthly topic. You could know that in the next year you want to play Kill Team, Old World, Genestealer Cult, Age of Sigmar 4th Edition, Imperialis, and Horus Heresy. You could set 2 months aside for each of them sequentially, and have them written on something pinned to a cupboard or mirror and cross them off as they come up. New player joins the club and wants to do a lot of Kill Team. Doesn't matter if you already have Imperialis scheduled next, switch to Kill Team, and then cross that one off once you're satisfied that you've done it. I'm just trying to find something that works for you. I set mine by big meetups and videos. So I'll be having a very big game of 40k, perhaps 10,000 points per side, in March. I need a full watch company of Deathwatch for then. After that, there will be a new topic of hobby focus. Genestealer Cult and Sisters are coming out together, so I will need to get games in with each of the factions to try out new things, and not just rely on my initial thoughts from reading a book. I do dislike getting hobby advice from someone who doesn't play the faction. Perhaps the last third of the year, the theme for me will be unusual, and I will try Genestealer Cult armies with lots of metamorphs, or all jump pack sisters. I might do that sooner, since we saw that despite initial thoughts, novitiates can be very good, and I'm finding a Genestealer Cult Magus has an effect on the enemy's psychology more than the rules themselves suggest. Super heavies beware. I know where your off switch is. Perhaps you didn't want a hobby topic or resolution at all, but you probably do since you clicked on the video and got this far. If you just want to see what comes this year and go for it, then all along your topic was new or adaptable. When something comes up, be like the tactical squad, not the Primaris Marine with the heavy autocannon and the jump pack where the recoil sends him spinning because you can't brace while in the air. You can always set a very simple resolution to start your year and see how it goes. Play one kill team game, make some terrain for yourself no matter how small, and if you add things in the comments, then people that can't think of anything will have plenty of other suggestions below. And if your hobby resolution is to start playing Genestealer Cult or Battle Sisters so that you have an army in preparation for the new codexes coming out, this is where you start. My darlings and viewers, have a great year of 40k.